going into some of the localities a bit later, find out how they are celebrating today and the rest of the weekend. And you can catch all those reports across our platforms, even here on GTV Breakfast, on our news channel and also our digital platforms as well. Let me introduce the ladies who have sat with me for now. I have Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim, former acting chairperson for the CPP. Hajia, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome back to the table.
Thank you.
Ellen Amadeko is special aide to His Excellency the former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, and she is also a member of the NPP's National Communications team. Ellen, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are we?
I'm fine.
I'm glad that you've joined us today. Much of the conversation, I'm sure you'll understand, will be on the memorial that happened yesterday, the interfaith service for the departed aide, the tragic incidents of August 6, 2025, which led to the devastating loss of the top government officials and also those heroic army officers. And we'll spare some thoughts as we start this program for the family as we keep them up in prayer. You heard the president speaking both at the interfaith service and at the unveiling of Dr. Edward Omaniboame's plaque statue in front of the Ministry of Defense, where he served until his demise. And you also heard from the wife of Mr. Abuaji, who made some very emotional comments about how the family has kept up and the faith that the Ghanaian people has kept with them until now. So we'll start with that. But I've introduced two of my guests. The third one is also at our table. And let's welcome Victoria Naima Abdullah, a member of the NDC's National Communications team, to the table as well. Victoria, good morning to you.
Good morning, Thelma.
Glad that you've joined us. So it's a full set. I'll start with everyone. Reflections on the August 6 situation that the nation just had to contend with, especially in support or in solidarity with the families, because they were really the people who encountered the most significant loss. And now I'll take your initial comments on the personalities that were lost, ladies, and how far we've come. I'll start with Hajia on this one.
Yeah, good morning, Thelma, and good morning to my two sisters here. And good morning to our cherished viewers out there. I think yesterday we all remembered our great personalities who lost their lives going to launch, is it Galamsey something?
An anti-Galamsey program.
Anti-Galamsey program. And we saw what happened. We lost 8 men. And I always say 3, I was very, very close to them. 2, very close. The Omaniboama was a friend, a brother. Mutala is a brother. And then Naulamuna. These were the people I spoke with less than 1 week, and they all went away. I was discussing Omaniboama at the party office. I didn't even know he had passed. When I met him at Adekuke's funeral, and somebody was saying, "Oh no, well, I want to come to your place," and blah blah blah. And I said, "Hey, so may you give me appointment?" They said, "Oh, gotcha. Do you need appointment?" So I was just discussing him with our Deputy General Secretary, telling him how affable this gentleman was. Then I looked on my phone just to check on something, and I said, "No, it's not true." So I called one nephew of mine at TV3. He said, "A government guy." I asked him in Dagani when I had Mutala. Then he said, "Oh, that's what they are also hearing, but they are yet to confirm." And then tell me, when I came out the street of Asalam down, I just wanted to see any car, and I'll stop to find out. So we're following the news until they broke that devastating news to the whole Ghana. Our condolences to the bereaved families, because you can see some of them are very young. They have younger children, babies, who will grow up without their fathers. It's, as Muslims we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Every soul will taste death. And what I want to say is that if really Ghanaians were wearing our thinking caps, really meant what we were intending to do. This Galamsey issue that made them to also go and maybe educate the people on what to do with small scale mining, and then they lost their life. I will say this Friday, Jumma Mubarak to all my brothers and sisters. If people are still doing this, then we've not honored them, their memory.
Okay. I'll take those as your initial comments.
We've not honored their memory at all.
All right. We'll get into some more details on it. I just want to pick quick reflections on what happened yesterday and reflecting on a year ago.
Yeah, I think
and the
what
loss.
happened yesterday. I was at a program. I was going there. Then I had another call. I lost a brother-in-law, so I had to go. You know, Muslims, if you don't go early, they'll bury the person. So, but we are in them with prayer.
Okay. Alan.
Prayer.
Well, good morning to our viewers. Good morning to my co-panelists. As it's just been a day of reflection, 24 hours, because we are all hit by the news. It didn't matter that we are of the other side. We had friends and family in the group. And for me, it's just been a year of reflecting on public service and why we even volunteered to even do it when we could have done other things. All these 8 people could have done other things with their lives. And I am sure they would not have ended up in the situation they ended up in. But that is what we have also chosen to do. And so you reflect on it and you pray that they rest in peace, and you also hope that because they loved the work they were doing, they also understood the risk, and they understand that it's a service for God and country. I heard the president stating his history with Omanebo, doctor, and how it was a blow to him. It wasn't just to him, it was to all of us. Dr. Omanebo actually came out of the NPP and joined the NDC years ago. And the sort of person that he is, and he reached across the divide. The last time I spoke to him before his time was 2 months before he died. We met him in Kufuridua. I think he was going for the anniversary of his old school, Pope John Secondary School. And we had the NPP female communicators also having a retreat at Kufuridua. We met at the same venue. And how he treated the females, I and Jennifer Queen, actually gave us an appointment to meet him, which we unfortunately never did. And how he treated all of us like his sisters. And for me, and knowing him personally, that is still, I am on the outside. So if I'm still feeling this way, I can only imagine what his wife, his children, his mother is going through. It's something you can only empathize and sympathize, but you can never understand what it means.
Absolutely.
So we wish them well. I've seen his children, they look healthy, and all the other children. It's not easy losing a parent in such traumatic situations. I also saw the chairman
just named a road after Dr. Omanebo. So what you're seeing now
is
the
this
pictures.
year's celebration, which they named.
So they named the street the Dr. Omanebo Crescent in Pope John Senior High School, which was his alma mater, and it was quite a moving scene at Pojo's with that naming. Yes, but please go ahead.
Round up. So for me, I saw his uncle too, Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyemang. Yesterday I saw him, and I can also understand how he feels. Having your nephew, such a young man who, yes, he might be in the opposition party, but he was on his way, on also serving the nation, like how he has served. He's over 80 years. So I can understand. I can only imagine what the elderly people in his home, in his family, people who had hopes that he was going to fill certain shoes, and he's just gone like that. So we can only empathize with them. The rest of us who are left, at a point, you as I said, we just reflect and we pray that God makes us remember the reason for which we lost all these 8 people. It doesn't look like we remember.
No.
It doesn't look like we want to change.
We
We are still screaming about Galamsey, and you just anyway. So
Okay.
we go into it.
We will
But may
go
their
into
souls
it.
rest in peace. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NDC, I've forgotten his name, Alhaji Munira, and then Honorable Mutala, and then the soldiers and the young man from Abuaje, from Obuase, all their families. I wish them well. May their souls rest in peace, and may we not forget the reason for which they died.
The reason for which we lost them, and these are the 8 men that were honored with the interfaith service yesterday. Dr. Edward Omaniboama, Minister for Defense; Dr. Mutala Ibrahim Mohammed, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology; the former NDC Vice Chairman, Dr. Samuel Sapong; Dr. Samuel Abuaje, former Deputy NADMO Coordinator and former parliamentary candidate; Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, and of course the Air Force men who were also on the flight: Peter Bafemi Anala, the pilot; Manin Chum Ampidu, the crew member and co-pilot, and also Ernest Adumensa, the aircraft technician. The armed forces officers were all honored posthumously after their demise by the president. Of course, the support fund was also set up, and the children and the families received just a few days ago the compensation package from the government, and surely not in any way a replacement of their loved ones, but perhaps an ease in the stress to get education for the children, to get a livelihood for the families that have been left behind. So Ghana continues a year on to mourn the 8 that tragically were lost on August 6, 2025. Let me pick your thoughts, Victoria. Your initial thoughts on where we are a year after the loss and the reflections that you have.
Good morning to you, Thelma, and good morning to my beautiful sisters with me on set, and also good morning to your lovely viewers. It's rather unfortunate that we meet here this morning to discuss an unfortunate incident that happened a year ago. It's a sad situation, and personally, I couldn't bear with the grief to attend the memorial ceremony, because being there reminds me of how they died. I can't see myself having to go through such trauma in death, and it's something that I wouldn't wish for anybody, but it happened. And a year on, our President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has honored the promise of the state to the families. And I believe that this is not just the end. The government will continue to honor the fallen heroes, just as we've honored President Atta Mills of blessed memory. We'll continue to remember these faithful departed. Yesterday was another day of remembrance, to remind us of our duty and obligation towards safeguarding this country and protecting our natural reserve, so that we are not bedeviled with this kind of situation again. When we are meeting again, we are not meeting for state executives or leaders of the state to fly over or to drive even to scenarios or programs, events where we continue to fight Galamsey. But we should be gathering to celebrate that all individuals who are involved in Galamsey have set their tools apart, and they are telling Ghanaians or advocating for a greener Ghana for all of us. May the souls of these faithful departed heroes continue to rest in the bosom of our Lord.
Thank you, ladies. So these are the initial reflections of my guests, Hajia, Ellen, and Victoria. Now let's get into the details of what actually happened yesterday. For the first time in a long time, at least for me, I saw a true blend of a Christian and a Muslim service, and I haven't seen a lot of Muslim services, but it's drawn some wide commendations across social media for the tolerance of the Ghanaian people, the religious tolerance that we seem to have embraced, and so that is a commendation that I have seen across our social media platforms. The thing that I also see reiterating, and all of you have touched on it, is whether or not the reason we lost them is being honored. What is a more befitting honor if not ending Galamsey is the question that many have asked. And we go back to the recommendations of the technical report, the technical report that was released in November after the loss of our 8 heroes, and the recommendations that were made in there. And then on top of that, the current situation of Galamsey and whether we are making any headway. I want to start with Ellen on this, because you also started going in that tangent about have we done enough? And that's the question that I believe all of us can share some insights on. I'll start with you, Ellen.
This Galamsey matter, are you not tired? I'm exhausted talking about it. Even thinking about it, exhausts me. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because we have decided to be, I don't know the name to use, the word. We decided to be wicked towards our own selves and to our own environment. And the love of money is pushing us to do things we shouldn't do. We've been at this for years. I don't want to go into history of which government did what and which government did what. We can always have that argument sometime. But this is a fight that is costing us lives. It's cost us the 8. Professor Kluche of the EPA, she's a professor. I hope I got her title right, yes. The EPA boss.
Yes.
If you remember, somewhere last year, she and her team, somewhere in the Dancy area, if you remember, she was fired on. And one of her security persons, I think, was either died or had serious gunshot wounds. Why? Because she was going to fight Galamsey. I will not go into what happened with the previous government and the people who also died, government officials who were moving to fight Galamsey and what happened. No, let's deal with this one. After the 8 people died because they were going to work on the Galamsey issues, we had Professor Kluche, whose team was and herself was attacked. We've had issues, Naimos, somewhere in the Ahafu region, where the whole Naimos team was attacked by a community. And the allegation was that the MP of the area raised people to come and attack Naimos. We still have MPs who that MP in the Western region, the whole community, including his chiefs, called a press conference on him. A whole MP.
Is it a DC or
the DC, before the DC came, there was an MP, I forgot, somewhere in the Western region. I'll have to look for it. In fact, his people say he shouldn't come back to them again because of what he's doing with Galamsey. Then we have MCs who have decided to legalize or put a sort of formal official stamp on the Galamsey by collecting taxes from these illegal miners. The recent case that I've heard is the Achimoda MP and his MC going back on and forth to the extent that the MC has gone to the river to go and Boduya. You can't say what perform. To go and curse his MP, that his MP is defaming him. But if you feel that your MP is defaming you and what he's saying that you are legalizing, Galamsey or the illegal miners is not true, send your MP to court?
Maybe the court is too slow for that.
Why should the court be too slow for an MC? What is this whole
Because the
theatrics?
wheels of justice grind slowly.
What is this whole theatrics of all this? Is the galamsey going on in your jurisdiction? Yes. Are you taking money from these illegal miners? Yes, the MP came with the receipts. And it's not just him. Other NCEs are doing that. But then when you go all around, then you come back to His Excellency the President. And the President did tell us that he knows that certain members of his government are also involved in galamsey. And fighting the galamsey is tough. Sir, it can be as tough as hell. It was tough for His Excellency Dankwa Akufo-Addo too. But you did not give him the grace. You did not give him the grace. So, sir, we are not giving you grace. We have to fight this. This has cost you. If there's any president who has lost because of galamsey, it's His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Members of your government, people who are close to you, people you needed to govern, you cannot, a whole defense minister cannot die just like that because of galamsey. So His Excellency John Mahama has been severely affected by this galamsey menace, and he should get up and get on them, especially those in his government who are misbehaving. I still do not understand how an MCE thinks it is okay to give receipts to illegal miners and go and collect money from them. Why? And according to the illegal miners, it's not just the MCs. The police team comes, they collect. The military team comes, they collect. Even chiefs come and collect their own. How do we fight this when we have allowed galamsey to be so endemic and eat into our bones? How? Right now, when you are buying food stuff, let me be honest, when I'm traveling and I'm buying food, I don't buy any food in the Western region. I don't buy food in Ashanti region, parts of Ashanti region. If I'm in my own enclave of the Bunu region, even in the Bunu region, I have certain areas in Bunu region I buy food from because I am scared of the food that is being sold on the roadside, because you don't know the land on which they grew the food and the content that the FDA is telling us. The medical teams are telling us that our food is absorbing all these heavy metals, from mercury to cyanide to what, and we are eating it. So you sit here, you go to Mokola, you go to Abobloshi to go and buy your food items. You have no idea which part of the country they are coming from. And I can bet you that 60-70% of it is full of heavy metals. So you can sit in Accra and scream like that. You don't care. It's none of your business. The galamsey happening in the Western North is not your business. Tell me it is your business, because you eat the food that is coming from there.
Right. Thank you, Amma. I'll go to Victoria next, but let me quickly read this story. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Dr. Kenneth Ashibe, and his comments that Ghana has not honored the departed 8 enough in galamsey fight, and he says that the country has not done enough for those who died on August 6, 2025 in that military helicopter crash. He was saying that the greatest tributes to the victims would have been a decisive victory against illegal mining. He argued that although government announced renewed measures after the crash, the results have not matched the urgency expected. His concerns were the slow prosecution of alleged galamsey financiers and kingpins, questioning why a year after the tragedy, only limited progress has been made in securing convictions against major actors involved in galamsey. He was also concerned about the persistent destruction of water bodies. He pointed to the continued pollution and turbidity of rivers as evidence that the crisis remains unresolved. He's also called for stronger political commitment, suggesting that remembering the victims should go beyond memorials and ceremonies, as we've seen, and should involve sustained enforcement against illegal mining networks. Let me come to you, Victoria, for your thoughts on where we are in the galamsey fight. It can no longer be something that is alleged, because a lot of people have seen, they've witnessed key persons who should know better, who appear to be engaging by their conduct, endorsing what appears to be an illegal situation going on in some of the mining communities. So where is the whip being cracked on that?
Okay, thank you, Thelma. I I would like to reiterate the fact that the Galamsey fight has been spearheaded by the President of the Republic of Ghana. The state agencies that were set up to ensure the reclamation processes began and enforced have proven their worth. Even though the team has faced many challenges in the fight, I have seen NIMOS doing a whole lot of operations with so much expertise. We saw some Galamseyers who tried to attack NIMOS in some videos a month ago, and we saw how NIMOS defended and were able to reclaim the land. Currently, as we speak, the government has been able to reclaim over 1,000 acres of land.
In which areas?
In Ashanti region, and targeted another 1,500 in 2026, and part of that has already been reclaimed in Ashanti region. We also saw the LI 2462, which allowed the president to assent to some forest reserve being used or being allowed, given assent to individuals to use the forest reserve for Galamsey, for small-scale mining, or I don't know if we call it the mining, like the legal mining. All of these have also been revoked in Parliament. This is a major step in the right direction. The government has done its best, and as we speak, there is more the government is doing. We have seen the tribunal bill, which has been passed in Parliament, and we're looking forward to that being assented by the President. And this bill allows the regional tribunals and the district tribunals to also join the fight against Galamsey by prosecuting persons who are found culpable engaging in Galamsey. One thing that we should understand is the fact that these Galamsey activities happen in communities, and some of these communities are already packed with issues in court, and the courts hasn't been able to, bring some of these issues to an end, not to talk of tackling issues around Galamsey. And so for a tribunal court in its mandate to be able to fast-track cases that are brought before it, and also the mere fact that these tribunal courts would include individuals within communities appointed by the Chief Justice. I believe if the Chief Justice is able to appoint the panel members, people of influence within these districts, to be part of the tribunal system, it will help us to be able to fight, because we've seen the fight being done in communities spearheaded by chiefs.
There's a lot that I want to ask about the tribunal courts, but I'm afraid that we may take the focus away from what we ask, because the concern about the constitutionality and the powers that they will wield and how to ensure that they operate within certain limits. Even the AG has made comments about ensuring that they do get some parameters within which to work. So there is that whole tribunal court conversation. Right. But where Galamsey is concerned, don't you think that the presence of these key personalities, whether they are local chiefs, whether they are traditional authorities in other forms, whether they are affiliated political figures, the continued insistence or people constantly seeing them and their engagement with these illegal miners perpetuates the narrative that nothing can be done, because if you can't touch the people at the top, it means we'll be targeting those who are the lower chains, and the kind of change we want to see, getting the water to go from those brown muddy, we don't want to associate certain beverages with it, but to get it from there to this side of clear, to this side of clear, it's not happening, because the concern is the people who are the big names and the big guns cannot be touched.
Thelma, I agree partly with what you have said, but you see, we also have to understand the fact that these courts or these tribunal courts are there to serve a purpose. And if one of the purpose is to fight against Galamsey, I believe the mandate that is required of them is something that they would want to. I mean, if for so many years we've tried to ignore the tribunal court, and today we are introducing it, anybody who is given the opportunity to head the tribunal court would want to make an impact. And so given the opportunity, I don't think that anyone who has the privilege to be part, even as a panel member, would sit down and want to be compromised. Because if that is done, it's going to be, I mean, it's going to have an effect on the community. And so what's therefore is the essence of being appointed as an opinion leader or as someone who is deemed to be a society leader that everyone reveres. It loses its relevance. And so for the relevance to be upheld, I believe these individuals would do their best to contribute to that fight. I personally is in full support of the tribunal bill being in force and also allowing certain individuals to chair the tribunal.
Even if they are non lawyers, and we know that the judicial system requires some expertise in the judicial structure. So the concern for some is if we are allowing these people, prominent as they may be, knowledgeable as they may be, then we are sort of watering down the strength of the legal argument in the court. And like I said, I'm tempted to just not get into the tribunal situation because that's another topic.
Yeah, you see, they are panel members. This is not the first time we're seeing this particular, situation or setup. We have countries that have succeeded in a setup.
And Galamsey will be one of the cases they will be looking at.
It's the priority of the tribunal court is to tackle Galamsey.
Okay.
And also, tackle tax evasions and all other situations. But you see, let me give you clarity on the panel members.
Wrap up on this one.
These are members who are going to be appointed by the Chief Justice. And so we are not expecting that the chairman of the tribunal, who is somebody who have the regional or district tribunal, who is a lawyer that has served in the legal space for a certain number of years. We're not expecting that they are going to do the appointment. It's obviously going to be done by the Chief Justice. And these people must have been thoroughly checked, due diligence done, for us to know that they are people that are, capable of handling the situations.
Right. Thank you, Victoria. The key thing is that we are discussing the departed the 8 heroes, and whether or not we are winning the fight against Galamsey. Victoria thinks one of the ways we can win that fight is when the tribunal bill, which still has not been signed, does come into effect, and she thinks that can help get us somewhere. Haja, you've insisted that we haven't done enough in honor and in memory of the persons that we lost in this fight. What's the basis for your argument?
This is that I want to reiterate what Helen said, because if anybody will fight Galamsey in this country head on, is the President of the Republic of Ghana, because of what happened. You heard him, how close, when they were having the funeral of Lamuna, if you saw the way the President was speaking, he was even shaking, because he said he was very close to him. But we are here in this country. We politicize everything. At first, we were told it's MPP who were doing the Galamsey, isn't it? And then some people too are alleging that now the NDC are going to sack the MPP from the Galamsey side, and the NDC kingpins are in charge. So I call upon His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as he also alluded to the fact that some of his people are doing it. If he knows them, he should name and shame them and sack them from his government. He should sack them, because they are embarrassed, they are disgracing him. He should sack them. No, Telma, if it's the police, if it's the chiefs who are doing it, if we can sack, because we didn't put the chiefs there, isn't it? But we can take them to court for doing that Galamsey, isn't it? After all, people have been taken to court and sentenced because of Galamsey. So if we really mean well and we want to fight Galamsey, I'm telling you, we can do it in one day. Didn't we lose lives? Didn't we lose lives? So those who are also causing those damage, and we go with the helicopter and just fire one, you see the way they will all run away. They were treating people with kiss gloves. It's like, oh, don't touch them. It's people's livelihood. But Omani Buama lost his life. Mutala lost his life. Lamuna lost his life. Abuaji lost his life. The other two, I can't remember, the NDC vice chairman lost it, and the two soldiers lost their lives.
Dr.
Sapon. So for me,
and the 3 soldiers, squadron
I'm
leader
telling you,
Anala,
Telma,
Flight Lieutenant Chum Ampidu, and Flight Sergeant Ernest Adomenta.
Thank you. I'm sitting on this platform today, and I'm facing the television. I'm sure His Excellency is watching us. He should name and shame people within his territory who are into Galamsey. Why didn't he say it? He said it. That he knows some of them are doing it. So the Ghanaians will know that he really means well or means business when it comes to Galamsey. Tell me, go to start the journey from Nsawam. Gani. In the afternoon, people are doing Galamsey. There are police there, soldiers there. You saw a police station, Galamsey being done in front, or is it at the back of the police station? The police station is there. And then people were caught on camera saying that Omoba 5,000, depending on who comes. And we are going to wait for a tribunal to be established before we arrest all of them. No! The courts are there. The fast track courts are there. Let's do things that people will know that we mean business. You understand? Because in fact, I'm paying that upon all what our people went through, dying like that, and still people don't fear God. They don't fear God. The blood of all those fallen heroes are on the hands of all those illegal miners, if they don't know. You think you are doing it, polluting our waters, killing our unborn babies, our women giving birth to half human beings. It doesn't prick their conscience. And tell me, the irony of the whole thing is that foreigners are even involved. Meanwhile, we cannot go to Togo and do Galamsey. We cannot go to Nigeria and do Galamsey. We cannot go to China and do Galamsey. We will allow our people chasing money that you die and leave it. When we were going around to greet the people after the tragedy, when I entered Honorable Lamune's house, Mutale's house, that's where I went, so that's what I can speak about. The 3 that I know very well. I was like, I looked at the money and I said, hey. So all this man didn't even stay there for about 20 years to enjoy the fruit of his labor. But death has taken it. And people still have conscience. Or should I say they don't have conscience. They are still doing Galamsey. I saw one NDC commentator on a platform saying that when the MPP were being accused of polluting waters, even the waters that are not polluted are not polluted. So who did it? He asked. You see, people are beginning to be say it as it is, because it doesn't affect only NDC or MPP or CPP. It affects even those who are not even involved in politics. So I'm praying and pleading with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We should make sure, if we really want to honor the memories of these 8 gallant men, and for posterity to also say, wow, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, his minister, his MP or MC or DC, like the receipts that has been given, it's an evidence that we can even take it to prosecute that MC for giving an illegal miner a receipt. Receipt for what? Illegal mining.
Victoria, would you be able to share some information with us on that allegation that these people have been named, have been said to have given receipts to persons who are engaged in illegal mining? Would you know if they are being questioned, they are being investigated? Would you know if anything has happened on the allegation itself?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Are we speaking about the... okay, so, Adia, are you not done?
No, I'm not done.
I just thought because you said, because Ellen also said receipts had been given. So I just needed to give her the opportunity. If there's any information she has that she could share with us then.
No information about that.
Okay.
Yes,
you know, the police station one, you could see people standing. You see, we are all pretending in Ghana. We are pretenders. Politicians, we are pretending. Police people were pretending. Judges were pretending. Chiefs are pretending. Why is it that if a funeral is going to happen, please forgive me for what I'm going to say. I'm not taking on any tribe. Homo, if you are going to do homo, there's a season that no noise, isn't it? Don't we obey?
Yeah.
There are some places in the country, if they are going to bury a queen mother or somebody, 1 week, no market, didn't we obey? Why can't we do the same thing for Galamsey? Why can't you? That's what I'm saying, we're all pretending. So, Thelma, let's face it. Me, I want to speak truth to death. I don't want to be economical with the truth. And one day, if I go, today is Friday, according to the teachings of the Holy Quran, when you see something that is not done well, what did you do? Or what did you say? They will question you in your grave. I mean, that is my belief. So that's how I do my politics. So let's do the right thing. I want to see the receipt that was presented. If that MP can petition the president with the evidence.
He has. That's the achievement.
Oh, yes. Then that's in the right direction.
Former Deputy Minister of Health.
You see, that's another, but the MC going to the river to swear, that one is not this thing. The courts are there.
We can't legislate cases.
No, we can't legislate cases. That one there, we can't legislate because my cases from my destiny, we come with bees. So if you bring bees here, nobody can start. Kumbongo, that's our destiny. If somebody does something. So since the courts are there, because maybe if the bee is coming, it is coming to maybe me. But because you are there, you have perfume on you, it can attack you. Maybe you are innocent. We don't want that one. Let's go to the court. If the MCE think his reputation has been damaged, he should go to court. And I'll expect the president to expedite action on this particular petition, so that we'll know that, oh, this petition has gotten the ears and the wisdom of the president, so that we'll know that we are really honoring the memories of our lost ones. Because, Thelma, somebody will say it's not easy. Yesterday, like this, when they were observing it, I lost my brother-in-law. And then I was on this thing with my nephew, Akwaku. If I say my nephew, people, because my sister married his uncle. So we have kids in that family. He said that's his birthday. So it's like, anytime that birthday comes, he will remember. And then me too, yesterday I lost my brother-in-law. So it's like 3. Celebrating my nephew, mourning my father-in-law, brother-in-law, and mourning the 8 gallant men who lost their lives. So please, those doing Galamsey, me every day I'm praying against them. Because you told Bonia, it's not fair. They should have even said, oh, we won't do Galamsey for the next 2 years in the memory of the fallen heroes, so that we regain our waters, our forests, and everything. The reclamation of the lands will be going on. Even the Galamseyers themselves will say, I've gone to buy coconuts. I'm going to reclaim this land. I did this, but I'm going to reclaim this land in memory and honor of the fallen heroes. Are we seeing that? People are busy scrapping everywhere to collect this money. Where are you going to take this money to? We don't carry it to the next world.
Now let's focus on the key findings of that investigation and whether we've made some progress.
Okay.
In the aftermath of the sudden loss, a committee was constituted to look into the causes of the accident, and the investigation concluded that the crash was caused by sudden loss of altitude and lift after the helicopter encountered a downdraft. It found no evidence of engine or mechanical failure. It found that the crew were properly qualified, and they said the pilot and the co-pilot were properly trained. They held valid qualifications. They met all regulation and operational requirements, and there was no indication they were not medically fit to fly. But the weather became a decisive factor, and they said that the changing environment conditions over the Adanseh Highlands created hazardous flying conditions. The human error was not identified as a primary cause. Subsequently, they made some recommendations to strengthen weather forecasting and real-time weather information available to military crews, reviewing operational procedures for flights over difficult terrain and in diverse weather, enhancing pilot training, improving operational risk assessment before VIP and military flights, and also continuing efforts to strengthen Ghana's military aviation safety systems. The government accepted the findings and the focus shifted to implementing the recommendations. So the immediate family got some closure that report came, and they had a clear idea of what may have happened and what may certainly not have happened in as a cause of the crash, because some theories were flying around about a host of things. So subsequently the government deployed some equipment to the military. We are told by aviation safety experts who spoke to GBC News yesterday that the pilots, with every new technology, will get some new education, and they have got that, but a lot more needs to be done. Let me start with Victoria on this, on the implementation of the recommendations made by the technical committee, and what would be the next stage, because the military has received some equipment, and we are told that the soldiers are receiving some training. What more do you think is the most immediate thing government wants to do as a next step?
You see, the issue of these recommendations are matters that has to be really taken into consideration. There is one aspect of an investigation revealing problems or revealing where there are hitches. Now we've been told that the weather forecast contributed, to what happened a year ago. And we have a lot of people complaining today about the weather forecasting system. Was there any conversation, between the agencies? Was there coordination? For me, I'm speaking for government, but I'm more interested in how these agencies work together to achieve maximum results.
Has GMET received any support in the aftermath of the August 6th crash?
Currently, I can't speak to that. But that's where I'm arriving at. If all of these agencies would receive the necessary logistics and the support, I'm sure we can have that, balance where we avoid some of these tragedies.
Okay.
A lot of people speak about, weather forecasts. Today you have information it's going to rain, and then the next day it doesn't rain. Where is the loophole? What is happening? Is the leadership of these agencies, are they lacking the necessary expertise? What can be done about it? Can we begin to get competent people to head these agencies? So now it comes to human resource. So if we are able to get the right human resource to spearhead these agencies.
Most of these agencies insist that they do have the human resource, they do have the expertise, but sometimes the equipment and the, current equipment that perhaps other countries may have. Yesterday we spoke to aviation safety and analysts, and they were talking about ground proximity warning systems. Even in the aviation side, they were talking about ensuring that the pilots have a way to communicate with the ground even when the weather is bad, and that would also involve a host of other things.
In advanced communities, we've seen individuals who have put pressure on government demanding for certain support in their area of operation. They didn't get that and they resigned. If they are not getting the support, what are they still doing there in that office?
Okay.
You have to resign. And
let me come to Hadia.
If it is indeed true that the government is not providing these adequate resources, resign from the position.
Okay. Hadia, what do you think, what more needs to be done on the recommendations? Government says that some things have been taken care of, maybe not in its entirety, for the military to beef up they show up their aviation systems. What do you think needs to happen as soon as possible as well when it comes to recommendations of the technical?
No, I didn't follow up exactly what the government said about what they have done so far concerning the recommendations. I think it was a voluminous document. Whether they've been able to implement about half or quarter of it, I think it is incumbent on the government to tell the good people of Ghana the recommendations that was given to them, what they've done so far. Because I know yesterday, like this, what they did was to honor the memory and then gave some package for the
Yes,
deceased.
a couple of days before, the families,
the families
also
were given
received some compensation
package. And then I want to find out whether, because they said there was nothing wrong with the engine of the aircraft, whether maybe the equipment has been improved in the helicopters, maybe for them to know that in this place you don't have to navigate through this or that. I've not heard that. So for me, I think what I would say is that government should try as much as it can as part of the honoring the memory of the deceased to implement the recommendations that was given by the committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ellen, has government done enough with the recommendations from the report on the cause of the accident?
What were the recommendations? That's the first question we should ask.
So should I go through some?
Recommendations were that we should properly resource the military, properly resource the Ghana Armed Forces, and get them to get the things that they need to be able to work, because this is a pure accident. No human error, nothing. So it was just what we call force majeure. So unfortunately, they were not flying fairly new. The aircraft was quite old, so the navigational instruments and things that they needed were quite old.
We're not the latest.
We're
on
not the
market.
latest. So
We are told that did not make them unsafe either.
well, but then the point is, the weather conditions can change drastically. So if there have been new things that will make it safer, we should get it to make it safer. There shouldn't be another accident because we just couldn't read the weather or we couldn't notice changes in the weather. So it's no fault of the pilot. As they said, the pilot is an expert, and there have been a lot of witnesses to show how he has flown over the years, ministers, presidents, and he has done nothing to show that he's not a professional. So it was just lack of I don't know how to put it, lack of the things they needed, lack of information, and it's also not the fault of the aircrafts, that there are newer aircrafts that should have been bought. That lets us go back to 6-7 years ago, when the previous government, through its minister, the defense minister, was insisting that we needed to refit the military. I'm talking about Honorable Dominic Nitu going to Parliament, and we had the NDC standing against it. This should serve as a lesson that when you are not somewhere and your colleague is there, it's because your colleague have seen something that needed to be changed, stood against it, said all manner of things. We didn't buy them. I heard Honorable Omane Boama, when he took over, was insisting that new equipment be bought for the Ghana Armed Forces on all sides. He was in the middle of that, and this unfortunate incident happened. One of the lessons we should learn as a nation and as politicians, that when we are in opposition, some of the things we say and do, we should think about the future. Because if we had allowed the things to be bought those days, I can bet you that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo would not have used them. Because when you look at the timelines, he was just buying it for the nation as he should. But Parliament, through the NDC, led by Okujeto Ablakwa, stood against it, called President Akufo-Addo names. Beer water. I hope, I heard some military helicopters have come. I hope we will not just use those three as, what do we call it, whitewash. We need to retool the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Air Force. We need to retool them. Let us do it so that we do not go through this again.
Thank you, Ellen. Let's go on to our second topic for the day. Yesterday, the opposition NPP staged a massive demonstration in Accra, and they called it the Democracy Under Attack Demo. the NPP says they were protesting against what they call a threat to democratic governance, the rule of law and the justice system. The march was led by, we saw General Secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong, and we saw protesters submitting a 5-page petition to the Supreme Court, which was received by the Judicial Service Secretary on behalf of the Chief Justice. We saw key NPP leaders in that fight. We saw Mr. Sami Uku, we saw Dennis Miracle Sabuaje and others. Minority Leader, the Honorable Afenyo Markin, was also a part of the demonstration. One copy of the petition was also sent to the seat of government, and when it got there, things became very interesting according to some, because some say that Honorable Afenyo Markin and the presidential staffer, Madam Nana Yaa-Ajantwa, have a beef, because the NPP said that when it submitted the petition to the seat of government, it came with a high-powered delegation, including minority leadership, senior party officials and MPs, and they were expecting a comparable senior official delegation from the government side to receive the petition. And he's reported to have said that he told Madam Nana Yaa-Ajantwa that choosing only her to receive the petition was disrespectful to the party. And we are told also from reports that Madam Nana Yaa-Ajantwa said she was not a nobody and that she was a senior government official. She assured the NPP that she will indeed deliver the petition to the president. The NPP says that a serious opposition petition involving the national concerns of a democratic nature deserved a more senior presidential representative, but Madam Nana Yaa-Ajantwa said the petition was properly received. That's what the government side is saying, and that her role as a presidential staffer gave her the opportunity to accept it. So the question is, was Mr. Afenyo Markin raising a legitimate protocol concern or unfairly dismissing the presidential staffer? And what does the rank of the person receiving an opposition petition matter in the grand scheme of things, and whether it reflects how it reflects on Ghana's broader problem of partisan mistrust between the government and the opposition? I'll start with Ellen first on this, because the NPP's demonstration wanted to address what it called those things, the political persecution, and they also said they wanted to protect the rule of law and ensure that the independence of state institutions are protected. I'll start with Ellen on the demo.
I had a few birthday wishes to do, but if I don't do it, so let me use that opportunity.
You should send their pictures and their information so that we add it to our diaries.
Okay, I'll do that later. But this is somebody who is quite close to me. My PA and brother, Edward Eduse. He's also started communication. Last week he was with the Focus. Eddie Eduse, today is his birthday. So I want to wish Eddie a very happy birthday.
Was he at the demonstration?
Yes, he was. And wish him long life. I also want to say a good morning to Madam Nana Yaa-Ajantwa, the third-tier government official, and ask her to stop complaining about the NPP and Honorable Afenyo Markin, addressing her for what she is. She's a third-tier government official, and the NPP feels it's very disrespectful on the part of government to send a third-tier government official to come and receive our petition. And it's as simple as that. It is not an affront to her person. It is an affront to what she represents and what she came to do. How can she come alone?
When he used the word nobody,
nobody says she's a nobody.
Tier, does it equate to being a nobody?
Nobody says she's a nobody. Nobody said that. In the scheme of things and in the order of governance, she's a third-tier government official.
So he didn't say she's a nobody?
I didn't hear him say that.
You didn't hear him, or
yes,
he didn't
I didn't
say?
Hear him say that. But what I heard him say was that looking at the people the MPP brought out and to come and present the petition, it was just fair that the government also at least brought comparable people. You just don't send a single person, third-tier CPP, 10 NDC government official to come and receive a petition. So the Honorable Afenyo Markin and the team did very well by giving the petition to our deputy youth organizer, Sandra. Good morning, Sandra. And Sandra also very nicely handed it over to Nana Yajantwa. So big deal. I don't see why she's bothered, because she
Does
said,
it matter who receives the petition?
It matters because
you want the information to be sent to the president.
4 years is too far. 2 years ago, if you remember, the then opposition, our government members, also had a walk to the Bank of Ghana. Is it a walk, a protest, a demonstration? And the chief of security at the Bank of Ghana was asked to come and receive the petition. They refused to even give the petition to the man, because they called them. In fact, yesterday, Nana Yajantwa sat on at Asampa FM and called that man a watchman. But that man is a lawyer. He's a former retired army officer, and he heads the security of the Bank of Ghana. Then led by what do we call them? The now majority in Parliament, all the MPs. They said he was a watchman, and they will not hand their petition over to a watchman. As for us, we didn't say that. All we said is that Madam Nana Yajantwa is a third-tier government official, and the government should have done better by bringing a more comparable delegation to come and collect it. We didn't take our petition away. We just handed it over to our deputy youth organizer, who also did a very good job by presenting it to her. So why is she crying? You are a third tier, and you should be third tier. You cannot move from CPP as general secretary and go and become NDC presidential staffer, and you expect people to become what? I heard her say she's a top government official. Madam, you are not. You are a third tier government official, and the MPP has every right to say that, and we have said it.
So
about the demonstration,
going into the details, the
let's go
grounds
into
for
the
the
details
petition.
for the demonstration.
The 8-page.
The grounds were that over the last 18 months, this government has shown us that they are not interested in the rule of law. They are not interested in making all of us go through the correct processes that we have to go through. They are weaponizing state institutions, and they are doing what they should not do to our democracy. And we have said it over and over and over.
In what way?
I don't have to come back here and say it. When you start weaponizing Yoko and weaponizing bail conditions, giving outrageous bail conditions, we have to remind you that is not how things are done. Fortunately, we got the Honorable Haruna Idrisu and Mutaka, the Asawase MP, reminding them that bail conditions are not used as weapons. We've seen it. Where bail conditions are used as weapons against former government appointees, even against TikTokers, young people who obviously cannot meet those bail conditions, and you keep them in jail. Not because the court says they should be in jail, because you have decided to give them bail conditions that they cannot meet. Therefore, they are in jail. That's one of the things. Another one, that's the reason why we also went out, is how, of course, we have already spoken about the judiciary, how this current Chief Justice, as a party, we believe that he is seated on a seat that he shouldn't be there. How the former Chief Justice was hounded out, sacked, on flimsy excuses.
The international court said no wrong was done.
That's the international court. We are, as the MPP, we are talking about our matter and our petition. So for us, we believe that state institutions, including an arm of the government, this current administration has twisted it, has turned it, and is using it as a weapon. Then you come to the tribunal system that they are talking about. I just have one thing to say about the tribunal system. I'll remind the NDC that they should remember the causing financial loss to the state bill that they passed into law and its effect on NDC members. That's all I can say to them. So this tribunal thing, if they will not think through, if they will not let us all sit down and think about it, and they insist on doing it, they should just go and see the effect of the passing financial loss to the state bill. That in 2008, 2007, 2007, who was in power? I think President Kufuor. No, the Rawlings time. The President Rawlings' last years. That they were trying to, that's 99, 2000. That the then minority in Parliament asked them to look at that bill very well, because it is not a good bill. They said no, they passed it. Let's check the number of people who have been sent to jail under that bill. And that law is now a law.
Okay.
So if they want to pass the tribunal system, that's all I can leave to them. They should pass it. But then you know who to be used against. So that one, we leave it to them. But so
are there people that the laws are used against and people that they are not used against? Once the law is passed, doesn't it apply to everybody?
And then let's go and check the as I said, causing financial loss to the state. Let's check the number of people who have gone to jail for causing financial loss to the state and which political party they come from.
Okay.
So when you are doing something and somebody or the opposition is telling you that be careful, make sure you don't set traps for yourselves in the future. That is all you are telling them. But as for the petition, as a good political party and as a political party that believes in the rule of law, when you are not happy with something, you don't go around causing havoc. You do a demonstration like we did yesterday, then you put your case across like we did. And I want to say a big thank you to all our people who went out and came to join us for us to do that. And for behaving themselves. Nobody stole any police car keys. Nobody blocked any road and caused, disaffection and caused inconvenience for Ghanaians who were doing their normal thing. Nobody died because they couldn't get access to a hospital because the demonstrators had blocked the road. They were disciplined, they followed the law, they followed their route, and they delivered. Whether the government will work on it or not, that one is their cup of tea. We have done our job.
Okay. So let's roll it back to the matter that we started on and the comments of the Honourable Minority Leader in Parliament, Osahina Fenyomakin, to Madam Nanaya Jantwa when the demonstrators got to the point where they were to hand over the petition.
He having a lease allow somebody to do galamsey. So Constitutional Affairs Committee of the party, members of parliament and the leadership of parliament are all here. But to disrespect our democracy by only nominating you to come, like I said, with great deference to you, it doesn't match it. So it means that the government does not even take serious the grave issues before us. That notwithstanding, we are Democrats and would want to respect the bona fides of democracy. So our deputy, a youth organizer, who is a woman like you, with great respect to you and without prejudice to your presence, to nominate only you to come amount to disrespecting us as a political party. I'm the leader of the party in parliament. You have the general secretary of the party here. You have the chief of staff of the flag bearer. We have the chairman of the Constitutional Affairs Committee of the party. Members of parliament and the leadership of parliament are all here. But to disrespect our democracy by only nominating you to come, like I said, with great deference to you, it doesn't match it. So it means that the government does not even take serious. Democracy is under attack. Unfortunately, as is expected, the chief of staff or the deputy or a very senior member of government, under the circumstances, should have been part of this discourse and to lead it. We feel that, with great respect to you and without prejudice to your presence, to nominate only you to come amount to disrespecting us as a political party. I'm the leader of the party in parliament. You have the general secretary of the party here. You have the chief of staff of the flag bearer. We have the chairman of the Constitutional Affairs Committee of the party. Members of parliament and the leadership of parliament are all here.
Scenes from the handing over of the petition to the government side of things. Credit to City News for that video. Just so we, some people said, well, we haven't heard it and I didn't hear, so just so you know exactly what the Honourable Afenyomakin said.
In the video you played, unless there's another video that we haven't heard. But if it's this one we are using, Honourable Afenyomakin never said anywhere that she was a nobody. So I'm wondering why she has taken that narrative and is spreading it. The
But what
point is that
specific protocol was
she's a
violated?
third-tier government official, and we felt that only her coming to receive it is disrespect to us as a political party. As Honourable said, there should have been more people of comparable, status. You don't send a CPP 10th-tier government official to come and receive from us.
Please leave CPP alone.
But was she not your
Victoria.
was she not your general secretary who has turned
Yes.
to NDC? Am I lying?
When I went to secondary school, my government teacher taught me that democracy, as defined by Abraham Lincoln, is government for the people, by the people, and for the people. And you see, for the NPP, they started off very well. They did their mobilization and they were able to get, some hundreds of followers to, proceed to the Supreme Court and subsequently the Jubilee House. You see, the NPP has always been that party that exhibits, some kind of, entitlement. And for Honorable Afenyo Markins to say those things, at the forecourts of the Jubilee House is quite unfortunate. And even to express that they were giving the petition to their deputy youth organizer to hand it over to Nanaya, I think that they should have actually done that without even saying it. Is the disrespect to Ghanaians being a party in power and then having to demand for, that kind of entitlement as you are in opposition. It sends a signal. We are describing what democracy is. And the NPP is now telling us that democracy is under attack. And who actually attacked democracy? If you are an individual and you're supposed to be part of government, when you are speaking to issues concerning governance, you need to do it with civility. You don't attack the President of the Republic of Ghana and then threaten him, threaten his spouse, and threaten the very people that you have elected. Because I know NPP members of the NPP who voted for the NDC. I know a lot of them who voted for the NDC. And so they are part of this governance. So if you are part of governance as prescribed or defined by Abraham Lincoln, if there is any issue that you want to advocate for, there are ways that you go about it. And you do it with civility.
Was there anything uncivil about the demonstration yesterday?
I'm talking about what they are describing as being under attack. I am referring to their stance on what democracy is. They first of all have to understand what democracy is to now determine whether it is under attack. Is this a civil society protest? Is this a civil society, demonstration? This is a political party demonstrating and telling Ghanaians that democracy is under attack. And democracy is under attack with their members on the internet, TikTok, using the cyberspace instead of educating the young people who are growing, instead of leaving messages for posterity to be able to develop our country in the next future.
The NPP's petition did say that they were presenting. So when you read from the top of the page, presented by the New Patriotic Party,
Right.
Also listed is the coalition of political parties. Also listed as civil society organizations.
Did you see their flyer?
These people.
Did you see their flyer?
I'm reading from the statement that they presented,
right.
the petition that they presented.
So I'm also referring to the flyer they
the
put
Chief
out
Justice,
there,
Speaker of
that
Parliament,
the NPP presents democracy under attack. That is what I'm speaking to. And you see, let me just, due to time, I want to just limit my issue on Nanaya Jantua. You call her, you address her as somebody who comes to receive a petition, does that alone, and you think it's an insult. And we should also remember that yesterday was a day that was set aside to honor the memory of our fallen heroes.
So
she
your
came
big
there
people
wearing
were
black
at
and white. Everybody.
The memorial.
Including CEOs, members of parliament, they were all at the UPSA yesterday.
Could a few of them have been excused to come and meet the NPP, knowing
one of them was excused to come and meet? We had an equally important assignment for this nation, and she was assigned to do that on behalf of the president. She couldn't have done that without express permission from the president. She did it on behalf of the president. And were the NPP expecting that we added Rosemont Obing to Nanaya Jantwa to receive the petition? Is that what they were expecting? No, in fact, if I was at the Jubilee House, honestly, I would have asked Rosemont to join Nanaya Jantwa to receive the petition.
When the word disrespect is used, then we have to also tread very carefully, because we all want
that is where it would have been disrespectful
conversation in the political space.
That because of the conversation around this young woman, that is where we would have seen the disrespect. But Nanaya Jantwa is not just anybody. This is a woman who has actually worked hard for herself to get to the level that she is right now. If for anything, just look at her personality. What has she done to you? Did she insult anybody? She came there, and you see, when I saw her express her grievance on Asempa yesterday, I said to myself that, you see, what she said alone, the response alone, was okay. If I was close to her, I would have told her not to even go to Asempa to even speak, because for what she did alone was okay to send a good signal. You bring your petition, whoever came has received it. You talk plenty. You see, Honorable Afenyo Martin, sometimes he likes talking too much. All the things that he said, he could have allowed the deputy youth organizer to tell it to Nanaya Jantwa.
That is when he would have been matching the energy.
If you think
Nanaya personally, he said that it wasn't about, it wasn't a personal attack on her, but about the, for lack of a better expression, the level of representation from the presidency. The level of representation.
She works at the presidency. She doesn't work at PURC office or Ghana Gas, and was asked to come from Ghana Gas to come and receive the petition. This is a woman who works at the presidency. And so if she has been, that's what I'm saying. I mentioned Rosemont because Rosemont also works at the presidency. You understand me? And so we are NPP, you are in opposition. Your entitlement, please, they have to be decorous about their entitlement. Don't come and be saying things to a woman like, Afenyo, if you wanted to let the lady give the petition to Honorable Nanaya Jantwa, you should have made her add those words to it, so that we know that it's a woman that is talking to another woman. You didn't say she's a nobody, but that what you said is something that she also interpreted as being a nobody. That's what she interpreted. She interpreted her nobody as being statements coming from Afenyo Markins, and he repeated it. When did you hear him speak? He said it over and over again. And then later it is you alone. Was there supposed to be a delegation? When
a corresponding level of representation on the government side.
Corresponding, but he later added you alone. You alone. So she should have come with a delegation. Well noted. I don't know what subsequent demonstrations they are going to, come up with. But you don't start off well a demonstration and later on you end it with impunity.
Okay. Haja. Even before. Okay.
Number one, the NPP is a political party of Ghana. We are entitled to demonstrate. We do not have any sense of entitlement. The only sense of entitlement we have is the sense to demonstrate, which we did. The NPP is not responsible for Nanaya Jantwa's understanding of English. So if Honorable Afenyo Markin is telling her that she should have come with somebody else, in her understanding means she's a nobody. That's not her fault. But her comprehension skills need some work.
Haja.
Dabi. We are in a country where these two political parties, if there are issues, you speak your mind. Wherever you are heading towards, they think you're either supporting this person or this person. And I'm not supporting anybody in this case. But the NPP has the right to demonstrate. As for demonstration, it is for everybody. If you're not happy about something, you can demonstrate. And yesterday, I saw them demonstrating. You say you didn't cause any nuisance, but you caused traffic. Because I was going to 37, I was in traffic for more than 25 minutes, which would have taken me. Yeah, but she said they didn't cause any inconvenience, but they did inconvenient me. Let me put it that way. The demonstration, I saw them going peacefully. After that, I saw some of them around the TV3 going back and then discussing what they were, and then some of them were in the cars talking. It was a peaceful demonstration. As I told you, I was somewhere mourning my brother-in-law. But it was in the evening when I saw the Asempa clip. And I said, what happened at the Jubilee House? When I heard my own sister Nanaya saying she has summoned the listening to God, I said, there's something happened. Then I saw another clip of her receiving and the way she spoke. No, I rather saw that one first. So I said, then it was a nice distance. When she spoke, not Afenya Marcus, I didn't see it, or no, I just saw it. Then when I saw the Asempa distance, I said, Mami, we were saying Asem. Why? Because she comported herself, received the thing without any distance. She should have left it there. She should have left it there. Because I heard somebody saying that she said she's petitioned Parliament. Only for me to see the video say she's saying she has petitioned God, or either if there is God. And I said, this is serious. Maybe Afenyo might have said something to her. And I read the nobody thing. I said, but how can Honorable Afenyo Maki say that Nanaya is a nobody? She's a somebody. She's a presidential staffer. She's working at the presidency. So why is she saying she's... But when I heard what he said today, I didn't hear the word nobody. And my understanding of resistance too, I'm not sure he has attacked her person. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Maybe you can say she's with respect, but where I was not happy with this thing is that if that is that they were giving it to our deputy youth organizer who is a woman. So you see, he has spoiled his matter there. I'm analyzing the whole thing. He has spoiled his matter there. Because he respected her, I respect you, and this. So we are also going to give it to our deputy. If you said you've been disrespected, so you two are going to disrespect or what? No, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But you see, maybe they were expecting Nanaya and a group of people.
He did say that they wanted perhaps the chief of staff and some other.
But I've gone to programs that she has come to represent the chief of staff. So maybe the chief of staff delegated her to go and do. It's like maybe, let me give an example of him, Honorable Afenyo Markins. He went to represent His Excellency, the former president, in a program in Nigeria. So they accorded him the courtesies of Nanado. They didn't see him as Afenyo Markins. They saw him as what? His Excellency Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo. So please, let's be very careful when we are doing things. Because I saw him with his kente, they accorded him, and he spoke on behalf of the former president. So all those courtesies were given him. So Nanaya Jantwa was there in her capacity as one presidential staffer, but nominated by the seat of government to receive it. But let me tell you, to be honest, I was telling you, if I were to be Nanaya, I would have told the chief of staff who nominated me that please on this occasion. Because you know how she is with the MPP. How she's right. No, listen.
If she was just doing her job,
let me tell you, me, I'm that one angry too. Because this is, you see, they've been able to get her.
The job is the job.
The job is the job. But at times, some of the job, you can excuse yourself. You can excuse yourself. We wouldn't have been discussing this today. You would have excused yourself. Because if you watch on Asempa and the MPP, you see the way they come at each other's truth. So, listen, look at my finger. Small chance like this, if they get, they'll come after you. And that's exactly what they did yesterday. You see? You see what she's saying? You see? So for me, going forward, I think we should respect each other. If maybe the MPP thoughts, you see, they're getting Tell me now you understand me. So for me, no. Okay, so
thank you so much.
Now it's okay. It's okay.
All of you.
It's finished. It's finished. It's finished. Please.
I'm so happy that we've ended on this
please.
topic.
It's finished. Please spare my sister. Please.
No.
Please.
So
let's
we are done with this one.
Let's look at
with this segment we are done.
Let's protect
Haja
our women.
Hamdatu Ibrahim is a former acting chairperson CPP. Ellen Amadeko is the special aide to His Excellency the former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and Victoria Naima Abdullahi is a member of the NDC's National Communications team. Ladies, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Homowo, so come over to the Gamashi side of town. Let's give you some kpokpoe and feed you with some authentic Nwewonu. So to all, I'm inviting all of you, come over. If you know me, you know where to find me this weekend. It's Homowo Live in Gamashi, and I wish all my Gam brothers and sisters Afi and His Royal Majesty the Gamanche Mimba Ode Omanye Mofemo Aye Yenyamo Ke Heshibami.
Misisi, me bre papa.
Sisi yoko, anyo nko.
Awe, harai. Fa misisi, ntimi ko seche. De ba mama mo adu na trashe. E fa na Angel Rock Bishop. Eye misisi yare pa. Misisi kan ho nan sen. E drei ni di boa. Angel Rock Mixture. E di na no abono. Me fa tem ti sami baba.
No bi na ma mi geni.
Angel Rock Mixture mo ko tell box mo de kwai. Mo ko to ana.
Me de ko bo me ho bai.
Angel Rock Mixture. Mama misisi ma do me for Angel Rock Mixture. Abutantim. Angel Rock Mixture. Rock me.
Wo fa no nanu na wo ho antowa. Ko ho doctor. Won ton man nipa won di fie du ngodwe. Ensese apemfo no. Ne oba wo ma akoda no for. FDA agi adwade nkrato yato.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ted Spear, pastor of the Fundamental Baptist Church International in Kumasi, Ghana. I'd like to welcome you to join us here on GTV every Saturday morning from 6:30 to 7 a.m. Please join us as we discuss the scriptures each and every Saturday morning. God bless you.
Kings and nations tremble at His voice. All creation.
Hello there and welcome. It's Jay Gabra back on your screens, and it's another edition of My Life, My Story. This time around, I'm speaking to an ex-convict. We're going to explore his life, before prison, and his life now undergoing rehabilitation. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is Kweku Gardner. Hi.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity too.
Yes. So, tell us everything. For instance, what was your life before prison?
Okay, my name is Kweku Gardner. You have already mentioned. I'm a product of Prince of Wales College, presently at Chimota Secondary School. I'm a Fanti by tribe. My story per addiction started way back in '87 when I was in Form 2 secondary school at Achimota School. That was when I tasted my first syringe of opiates. I had a friend, because I earlier on emphasized on how I got into addiction. Due to peer pressure, half parenting, and other exponential factors per adventure.
When you say the parenting and then the exponential fact, what do you mean by that?
What I really mean was I lost my father earlier. You know the influences of half parenting on the child. Me being the last boy, there was so much care and attention
and affection
that made the old woman or my mom really neglect certain things that she should have considered earlier to help keep me out of this menace. So all the same, after my first, as I said, the first shoot of opium, I felt very nervous and uncontrollable. I was in Achimota school. It was time for lunch. We were taking kinke, fish and pepper. The kinke in a different plate, the fish and pepper in a different plate. But unfortunately, I saw my table members laughing. Why? What was the reason? Not knowing, instead of when I take the kinke, I have to tap into the pepper and fish bowl, I was tapping on the table.
Are you tapping the table?
Because the table was red, so I was seeing it like the pepper stuff. See, that caused the laughter. And unfortunately, the prefects noticed what was going on. They called me up the prefect's table. I was asked to carry a kinke bowl on my head as a sort of punishment. I fell off and I went off. I was taken to the hospital. Then it was Dr. Sogbojo, was a medical officer at Achimota Health Post. And I came back and I saw that no, I still had the zeal of using these mood altering substances.